Bluetooth in my ear, I don't need a ticket. Trying to find me a freak who really trying to kick it. I'm a Michael Vick chick, dog, I out good. I'm on Manchester rolling through Inglewood. Car cleans, rim big on blink. Little chick on the side saying do the damn thing. About 10 o'clock, so some shit about to pop. Ain't talking police, but a bitch, I'm a cop. Fitted hat on with a mean little strut. $20 in my pocket, but I don't give a fuck. Niggas in the party lighting up the street. Oh, what we doing after this? Rome hit Rebo.
What's going on? West of the 110, back again. Hope you had a good weekend. It's a long weekend, 3-day weekend. A lot of stuff that went on this weekend. A lot of stuff we're gonna talk about today. But again, welcome in. Hope you enjoying your Memorial Day. Hope you're playing it safe, man. It's a lot of crazy stuff that went on. But yeah, we here, and like I say, why we do what we do is that's why I'm here to do this for you. Today's topic is toxic attachments. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they have some kind of familiarity with that toxic attachment. So why do we chase the people who hurt us? Why does pain feel like love? You know, so tonight we're not gonna sugarcoat. You know, we talking about toxic attachments. You know, the ex you keep going back to, the woman you know that doesn't want you, but you chase her anyway, the man who breaks you down, but you swear he's your soulmate. This ain't about judgment, it's about truth. Because so you know, some of us aren't addicted to love. We're addicted to suffering that feels familiar. So what is toxic attachments? That's what some people may ask. But before we get into that, you know what? Let me give you a little news around from South LA. You know, it's a lot of things that went on in South LA over this past weekend. You know, this weekend is still going on, man. And like I say, last week's episode was Ghetto Summer Preparations 2025. And, you know, I would recommend some people go check out that episode because we spoke about some real stuff, you know, some stuff that was going on last summer before. And normally that goes on in the summers in California, which is crazy. But if you missed it, go check that episode out. But especially in the areas that some of us really familiar with, the Florence and Normandy area, you know, it was a big shooting, you know, in that area. You know, it was a man. I don't even want to talk about it. What's going on, Rose?
What's good with you, brother?
Oh, not much, man. Just, you know, before we get into this topic, I was letting people know some news around South LA. But what's going on with you? How's your Memorial Day weekend going? Because the weekend is still going on for some people.
Man, it's all good, bro. Clocked in, went to work earlier. Barbecue yesterday, you know what I'm saying? So I could get that out the way. Like I said, clocked in a little bit earlier for work, and now I'm off, man. So I'm chilling, man.
I hear that, man. That's what's up, man. I was just telling some people about some stuff that happened in South LA, man. For those who don't know, real quick, I got a short little clip I want to show you. It was 2 incidents that happened the same day, you know, not even 24 hours ago. Y'all check this out.
LAPD investigating this triple shooting. It sounds like 2 people were found shot just outside of a front yard, possibly with leg injuries, and 1 more person down inside of one of these homes. It's unclear the condition of the 3 people shot.
Now, the initial call came in at around 6:40 this evening at the intersection of Florence Avenue and Dalton Avenue for multiple people shot.
Yeah, those are 2 incidents that happened, man. Just over this, you know, not even 24 hours ago, man, this Memorial Day weekend. And I was saying last week's episode was Ghetto Summer Preparations. And this is some of the stuff we talked about. It get hot and people start doing crazy stuff. What do you think about that stuff, Rose?
Man, it's, you know, it's you just got to be, you know, a little bit more cautious. I mean, you shouldn't have to be like that, especially if you're a civilian, right? Like, you want to go to the beach, have a good time with your family, you know, and, you know, something tragic of an event like that happens, or you at a park or, you know, anywhere, you know, really. I just think it's senseless, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In one of those situations, I heard one of the alleged shooters was like 12 years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy, man.
12 years old, if I'm not mistaken, 12, 15, and 18 years old. And one of the victims who was shot, a lot of people, like, I wouldn't say personally know her, but in that area, if you're in South LA, you know that area pretty well. This lady was in a wheelchair, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody, they shot this lady. So they said it was over an argument allegedly. So I don't, that's kind of crazy. Like these are kids, 12, 15, 18-year-old. These are kids. The lady in a wheelchair obviously must be an older lady. Like, what did she say to you that really made you do that?
Nowadays, these kids really don't have no emotions. You know what I'm saying? That's a different story. Like they see, they idolize what they see on TV, man, and it just becomes like one of those things to where, you never know who finna trip. That's why you got
Yeah,
to be cautious. You know what I'm saying? And try to stay to yourself. Again, you shouldn't have to be like that. You shouldn't have to be on your P's and Q's, worry about what's going on if you got your family out. But at the same time, it's like, just because that person woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or it could be
yeah,
an influence from somebody else, that's telling them, hey, go put in this work. Like, and, honestly, for, you know, the people that's out there telling these babies basically what they are, these 12 years old, that's a kid. For those that's telling
yeah,
them to go out there and, be an influence, to their life and go tell them to do some stupid shit like that, then you should look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Like, but that's how I feel about it. It's a sad
yeah.
situation. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a sad situation, man.
It is, man. It is. But like I say, man, like today's topic is toxic attachments. You know what I'm saying? And some people may ask, what is a toxic attachment, or what are toxic attachments? You have different things. For example, a woman breaks up with a man who, constantly belittles her and cheats, but every time he apologizes or shows affection, she goes back, confusing attention with love. So that's like trauma bonds, feel like comfort when chaos is familiar with them. Some people grow up in these environments. So when they go through it, that's just one example of a toxic attachment. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's they got a definition for it. It's called Stockholm syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Uh, where a motherfucker keep going back to their oppressor, knowing that this motherfucker may not be about shit, or he beating your ass every Tuesday and Friday type shit, or vice versa for a man. You know what I mean? She can't cook no dinner, but she want that credit card every Saturday type shit. You know what I'm saying? Stockholm
Yeah,
syndrome, man. It's very toxic. I looked at the topic of your show, and I was like, I'm trying to figure out, where did this start from? Was it like in the train of thoughts from back in the day where grandmama or granddaddy or great grandmama, great granddaddy was told to stick it out through whatever with a motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm trying to figure out where it started. Did it
I,
start from there?
I think, well, just from, how would I say this, from some of the stuff I seen as a kid going down south back in the early 90s, what I'm saying. And you would see a lot of people and hear a lot of the stories still from some of the people in the older crowd, that was older back then, because shit, if they was like 70 in 1990, so shit, when they were born. um some of the things that they said is they minded their business, really. Some of the women didn't really give too much about, I ain't gonna say the word about the man. A lot of the marriages back then, it's like other countries, how they have these marriages where they they marry off their daughters and stuff. That stuff went on too here in America. But It was just in a different form. You know, some of these men had so many kids that once she got old enough, 15, 16 years old down south, you know, she married old, you know, his buddy's son that's 22, you know, that's looking for a wife.
Right, right. And you know, like you said, you know, back then, you know, for the most part, shit, Big Mama, you know, what we call him, Big Mama, didn't care about, you know, what Granddaddy was doing down there at the juke joint. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah, yeah.
he brought
Not saying it's right, not saying it was
right,
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 but
right.
it happened. We hear these stories. How many men reveal on their deathbed that you know they had another family, you know, a woman
Yeah,
with 2, 3 more kids that they grown. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it happens.
The kids meet at the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like type shit. Like it's crazy, man. You know.
Look at look at Springer, Jerry Springer, for example.
Right.
Uh, Jerry Springer has black kids. People didn't know that. He
Right.
has 4 kids. The younger 2 are black. Well, I should say from the woman he had who he wasn't married to. Because I'm not gonna call her side piece. I mean, if they were together that long and they had kids with each other, and from what I heard, if it's true, I think he left his 2 kids who are white, like the house or something like that. But he left the black kids the wealth because he said, you know, they never had a starting point. You know, it's basically black people, they don't have nowhere to start from. You guys do.
Yeah, that's deep, man. That's deep. I ain't mad at old Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, I just go back to figure, you know, like you say, toxic attachments, right? Like, where did it start? We debating on whether it started back then or, you know, was it passed down through generation or is it Stockholm syndrome? Another factor of looking at it is like, you know,
Trauma bond.
yeah, there we go. I was just gonna get into that. Yep. Like a motherfucker got so much control of, you know, the other person's mind that they don't see life without that person. And it's crazy, but that's how it is, bro. You know, I
Well,
see it every day.
what's going on, Big LA?
What's the word? What's the word, man? Hey, man, it's a beautiful thing. Just a fit, a lit but not fit update. Your boy lost 54 pounds, man. Hey, somebody,
That's what's up.
somebody said you can't be fit, but you could be lit. Fuck being lit. Lit get you into stupid shit. Go work on being fit this summer. How about that? I'll see you niggas at the end of the summer when I lost another 30, 40. You understand?
Uh,
Work.
if I
I know,
had a,
I know.
I
Hey
hit a
man,
button. I hit a button for that nigga right now. If I had a button, boy, I ain't.
man. Hey, that's some real shit, man. Hey, keep it up, man. Keep up the good work. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff people in the world want to hear. You know, they don't want to hear
Yeah.
about a motherfucker talk about, oh, I'm doing good, or I'm maintaining. Nah, say, remember, I just lost damn near. Hey, I just lost half a C note in weight. You know what I'm saying? Shit. That's how you gotta go. But like you were saying, Rose, Big LA, you've been hearing we talking about toxic attachments. Um, Toxic attachments have a lot of things that go along with it, not just relationship, family. You know, some people go around family that constantly talk about people, belittle people, all the gossip. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing positive. That's a toxic attachment. Some people don't want to detach from some family that they know they shouldn't be around. Um, and some of the family that they should attach to, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some family members live a boring lifestyle that they don't like. They figure you can't teach me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they tend to get their information from the popular relative. It's not always good. You know,
Real
you want to
shit.
live a lifestyle they live. You don't know how they got that lifestyle. Hey, Rose, but what do y'all think about this? Some people think this is a toxic attachment. Some people not be able to read through the bullshit. What do y'all think about this?
Yeah, he messed up. I was gonna say something else, but he messed up, man. You know, should have signed that prenup definitely, man. You know what I mean? It's gonna be some shit. I hate to say it. I see it
Yeah,
in advance. There's gonna be some shit that's gonna come down the pike where he done had a threesome with her and her homegirl, and now she want to file for divorce because he feeling her homegirl a little bit. It's gonna be some bullshit coming down the pipe. I already see it. And that's no guidance. You know what I mean? Nobody even shit. Don't no color line shit. White quarterback, black quarter, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no guidance
yeah,
from a man to tell him like, yo, you know, how much do you love this woman? How much you been around her? How long y'all been together? Now, if she been down with you since
yeah,
ninth grade, all right, cool. That's a little bit different. She done rode it through high school with you and college. Okay, you know what I mean? I understand it. But if she done jumped on the bandwagon like in your junior year and your stock still going up, that might be a hook. You got to be
yeah,
aware of that shit. And it ain't no man around to tell him that. That's just me.
yeah. I mean, maybe that's some. How do I say it? Some people think pain is a physical form all the time. Maybe he's confusing pain with love. You know what I'm saying? He's so used to maybe the things that she's been throwing his way now, just from the media, because I don't know these people personally, just from what's been out there. A lot of people coming out saying this, that, and that. You can't always believe what you hear on the internet, but I mean, if you got 100 people saying the same thing, I don't think they all lying. um but I wish him the best. I hope he don't go through that. I mean, because he's always smiling. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like a pretty nice guy. So um, I would hate to see somebody like him go through some drama. Especially some marital drama, because he's gonna be, I mean, a big time star. But from what I hear in, just on the media, they say he's not looking too good in like the rookie mini camp or something like that, not hitting the routes and stuff. I mean, I don't know if they trying to convert him to a wide receiver, but honestly, I would say if it's not working, hell, just have the boy play his other position on defense. I think he might be a better defender in the NFL than he is an offensive player.
I mean, shit,
I'm,
God.
I'm,
Oh, go.
I'm sorry. Who is that person again in that picture? I don't be in media like that much no more, y'all. So I be missing out on things.
That's a Mr. Travis Hunter, the newly signed player to the Jacksonville Jaguars from Colorado under Mr. Deion Sanders coaching. He has married his fiance, who he was in school with, and in the media, a lot of people, they do digging. Things came out basically trying to say she hasn't been loyal in the past or this, that, and that. But nobody could tell him anything. So they just got married and no prenup was signed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Y'all remember Kim Kardashian and that basketball player, right?
Who, Chris Humphreys?
Yeah, I'll leave that right there for the people in the back. Yeah, 26 million. 26 million.
That's what she got from Chris Humphreys.
26 M's.
Wow,
That's crazy.
wow.
That shit was all over the news. I mean, all over the news. $26 million.
I
They
didn't I
say
didn't
that
know that.
they say that shit was a publicity stunt. It was just something for her to get herself out there after the whole Ray J debacle. And
Well,
I believe it. I believe it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, that can be a toxic attachment too. Some people get so caught up and want the attention that becomes a toxicity. They're doing anything for the likes. My boy Nandez, he had a song called "Anything for the Likes," and it's true. Some of these people do anything for the likes. That's a toxic attachment. Social media can be a toxic attachment. Some people don't realize that they're on it all day. They be like, "Oh man, I'm not doing nothing," but yeah, but every 10 minutes you checking it, so it's like you're on it all day.
I swear
Yeah.
that's what Big LA is. At the beginning, like about 3 months ago. You got to detox from social media, man. It's important. Um, that shit, it like P say shit. It consume you all day. You just scrolling every 10 minutes. Before you know it, if you look at your screen time and how long you've been on social media, you done probably been on it more than half a day. Imagine how many hours that could be that you can invest in doing
Yep.
anything else except that. Uh, it's important. You know what I mean? But you say your boy wrote a song. Shit, Johnny Taylor also wrote a song. Say it's cheaper to keep her. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yep.
Toxic attachments, right? You know, might have started back in the day. Shit, he was talking about that back in the day. Well, why is it cheaper to keep her? So you don't have to pay up that bankroll, or you know. I'm gonna share a story with y'all while we on this topic. Toxic attachments. I used to work with this old dude named Tony Player. Like 20 years ago. I was like in my early 20s. He was like 50 already. He'd been married to his wife for like 30 years. Um, he said he went to the pen for 10 years, and we was asking him, trying to get some game from him and shit. You know what I mean? I say, Mr. P, like, did you ever worry about her cheating on you? He said, man, I wasn't worried about that. She had to get hers. You know, any nigga can have her body, but I got her mind and her heart. I'm like,
Boy.
oh, you know what I'm saying? He was like, and she did even more. She held it down, make sure the house didn't get sold, none of that. So
Yeah.
when I got home and she kept doing what she did, we had an understanding. Just don't let it cross the front door. And he said, at that point he had been sleeping. They've been sleeping in separate rooms in the same house for 10 years, 30 years, bro. Crazy story, bro, but it's true. Crazy.
What's up, Miss Gina?
Hey guys, what's going on? How's everybody doing?
Hey, hey.
Hey, what's going on? Doing good, doing good.
Very good, very good. Happy Memorial Day. Hope everybody had an amazing day. I'm here with the family. I'm like, oh my God, let me join on, see what's going on with the guys. What's up?
That's
Yes,
what's
man.
up. We appreciate you joining us. For those who don't know, Miss Gina baked. Um, and wait, just check this out real quick.
That's what's up.
Oh
Shout
my
out to
goodness.
Miss Gina. Shout out to you. That's super creative. Shout out to you, man.
Thank you, Roosevelt.
Yes,
Oh my
ma'am. Yes,
goodness,
ma'am.
P, how did you bring that up? Oh my gosh, what surprise. Thank you.
No problem. Um, them good cakes.
So what's a nice topic, guys, since I'm just joining you?
Oh,
Toxic attachments.
it's rough tonight.
It ain't rough because we all made it here. As long as we made it here, it ain't rough. We just wing it and make it work,
Right.
make it do what it do.
Yes, ma'am. I like that. Yeah.
Yep,
Toxic.
that toxic attachments. That could be anything. That don't have to just be relationship wise. That could be anything. Somebody we know can have a toxic attachment to eat too much pork. You know what I'm saying? like you gotta let
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
attachment go. But
Okay,
I
okay, I
think
get it. I got
I
it.
think I think Rose had a good point he was trying to get to earlier. He was trying to say, where did this start from? You know what I'm saying? Like can toxicity be hereditary? Like are some people just born around so much toxic stuff, whatever it may be, that they can't snap out of it? So it has to go on in their life for them to go on. Is they become used to it, like they confuse pain with love. Like, what do you think about that?
I think I don't think it's hereditary or anything like that. I think it's a part of attention that people seek. So if it's not drama based, drama filled, if it's not something always to go back and forth with, people attract themselves to that type of thing. Like, I'm here with my family. I hope the piano is not overshadowing me when the kids playing pianos. But
Are you good?
toxicity, you're attracted to that. People attract themselves to that type of thing. Um, it's no way that it's anything hereditary. It's just something that people like to be a part of. It gives them something to do. It gives them something to talk about, something to always have riffraff about. And why you want to live your life that way, I have no clue. Because I'm all about peace, being peaceful. You know, drama comes here and there, but I don't associate myself with that, and it's not a part of me. I don't let it be a part of me. Things are not always like in order like you would want them to be, but drama, I don't fuel off of that. That doesn't fuel my fire. And maybe that's because I'm older. I don't know, but that's not part of my world.
And that's a good thing. You know, a lot of people need drama in their life. You know, they don't realize it. And some of the dramatic things that people like to do, it can be like clothing. You know what I'm saying? Some people they so caught up that toxic attachment to trying to look like somebody they know they shouldn't be trying to look like. You know, I mean, trying to squeeze in the little stuff, men
Mm-hmm.
and women. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be a toxic attachment. Like be real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like my boy Big LA right here. You know, he just told us he just lost 54 pounds. You know, that's snapping out of some toxic attachments right there, getting your health back in order as a black person. We got to focus on that.
See, a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of people, right? Real quick, when they get depressed and they go through something, a lot of people turn to food, right? And I, I could do something on this platform that a lot of people in the world and around the world are afraid to do because they're afraid to be judged. When I felt depressed and in my little dark space and I wasn't dealing with nobody, having nobody around me, in a way, well, not even in a way, because I gained a lot of weight off of that, thinking real low of myself. I turned to food. I didn't turn to people. I didn't do something
Mm-hmm.
smart like work out and get my life all the way to get my life all the way together. I did the wrong thing. I went the opposite way. So yeah, hell yeah, food could be in a toxic attachment. Liquor, certain people. You feel
Mm-hmm.
like they got you. You feel like you need all that attention and this and that. Yeah, that's toxic. It's not healthy. Your kids develop that trait, and now they want attention. And when they don't get it, they're mad and they throw fits.
You're right.
Meditate.
So
You're
how do
right. What's
Teach,
up, Mr. Charles?
teach your kids how to meditate for the one time.
Go
so
ahead, Miss Gina.
meditation helped you?
Yes, meditation. Having good, solid people around me. Um, being by myself in my thoughts, in a healthy way, to where I could develop
Mm-hmm.
myself as a person. Make sure I'm a better person. Because if I'm not good, I can't make sure my kids good. If I'm not good, I can't make sure I'm good. If I'm not good, the people around me gonna feed off of that energy, and then they're gonna start to slide into the same thing I'm in, or it affects them in some type of way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so meditate and talk to your higher power. Talk to
Right.
them on a regular basis. Talk to them on a regular basis, not just when it's convenient or when you done got into something and you need them to pull you out. Talk to them.
You got to do that. I'm glad you said that, Big LA. Some people do that. They be in a bind, then they run to the church, then they get help, and then you don't see them till they get back in the bind a year or two later. You know, it don't work like that. Um, and also you got to talk to even here, like if you get into some stuff, a toxic attachment, you got to break. You can't always handle stuff yourself. It don't hurt you to pick up the phone
Mm-hmm.
and call the police because you're gonna put a slug in somebody and wish you wouldn't have did it. You know, and also an attorney. You know, speaking of attorney, we got attorney Mr. Stringfellow on the show. He may pop in today, but if y'all need an attorney in Texas, you call Stringfellow. I'm gonna give you his number. Y'all check this out.
You're in traffic, you're at a red light, you get an unexpected ass kicking, road rage at its best. You need legal advice and action. Call us now, Stringfellow Taylor and Associates at 888-777-LEGAL.
Yeah, make sure y'all get that Russ Stringfellow, man. Make sure y'all get that Russ, man.
Shout out to Russ down there in Texas. I talked to him. He said it's getting hot. The mosquito. He said he had a mosquito on his shoulder the other day. He thought it was a pigeon, but it was a mosquito.
Dang,
Was
that's
it that
crazy.
big? Oh my God.
Hey, that's big down here, huh?
They that
I
big,
saw
man.
that
They
clip
that
that you
big.
showed. I saw that clip a couple days ago on social media, and that was absolutely crazy. Oh my God.
I'm
It
telling
got
you.
it got stuck when you just showed it here, but maybe you can show it again, or maybe people can find it on social media. But that clip was really, really crazy. I would love to know the backstory on that, because one gentleman was in the car and one was outside the car. I don't even know how it got to that point.
It was road rage.
Okay.
It,
Yeah,
it was
it,
it
it
was
should
just
never
road
become
rage.
that serious. Like
It
my son
shouldn't be.
says I have road rage because I be cussing people out my car. And my son be like, they don't hear you. I'm like, oh, they hear me. They hear me. But it
Yeah.
should never
Yeah, they
come to
looking through that rear view
Anger can
mirror.
be anger can be toxic also.
Yep, that's a
uh-huh.
toxic attachment people got to break away from. I tell my wife the same thing. Stop yelling and honking at these cars, because some of these people, they looking for any reason to pull that tool out and do some work with it.
Any reason.
You know,
Yeah,
petty.
you
Some
just
petty
never know
stuff.
what a person's day has been like, what they've been through, and you don't want to become the next victim because somebody else was going through something that you knew nothing about. So yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
road
right
rage
about that.
can be fatal.
You're right. Now,
Like I
I
used to
got a
have a
question.
supervisor when I worked
Yeah,
in
go ahead.
Superior Court.
Go ahead.
I had a supervisor, and she wasn't a stickler about us being late. Like, we had a certain time to be there. But if we
Yeah.
was, 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes late, she wasn't a stickler about that, even though Superior Court as a whole was, and I get it. But she used to tell us, she said, when you guys get here as soon as you can. Don't make it a habit. But if you happen to be late, I understand, because I never know what you had to go through to get here. Because she used to take care of her mother before her mother passed. So she had to go to her mother's house from her house to do whatever she had to do. Then she had to make her way to work. So she understood a person's day does not just consist of you getting here working for the company. I don't know what you had to do to get here. I don't know if you had to catch the train, bus, walk, ride, scooter, if you had to take care of somebody, or if you had to find some clothes to get here. So I used to appreciate that about her, because you never know what a person is going through that you might be around every day. That maybe they never mentioned it to you, and they don't have to. But she understood that. So when we're on the road going here and there, road rage, we might, get upset and say whatever we say in our car. But to come to a point like that clip, that's crazy and ridiculous.
The crazy part is, I live here in Arizona, man, where it's a, open carry state, and
Mm-hmm.
that is, I see it on the news all the time. It's like crazy, you know what I mean? Like super crazy. Like
Mm.
you see it constantly, like at least once, twice a week, on the freeway, wherever, all throughout the cities out here, and that's, it's real, man. Like she said, you don't know how nobody feeling that day, so you have to approach people with caution. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
Yep.
serious.
You're right, and that's it. That's in a lot of things. Even a lot of men pulling up to women trying to talk to them. Women, be careful walking up to people's car. That might be a toxic attachment. Thinking it's cute. The guy gaming you up, you walk up to his car, and it could be a bad story.
But it's easier to do that than to walk over and grab one.
Ernest, excuse me, guys. I'll be right back. Ernest.
Yeah, you good?
Hey, mute up her mic. See? Mute up her mic.
I got you.
There you go. Cool. That way, I don't know what kind of conversation. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, no,
Toxic.
man, but you got to break a lot of that toxic stuff. Matter of fact, here go, like some toxic stuff too. Like we were talking about the attire, the dress wear. Some people don't need to wear certain stuff that they know they can't fit. Just like this. What do y'all think it is?
Boy, graduation. You know everybody in there talking about you. Look at that. At the graduation, y'all. Boy, graduation. You know everybody in there talking about you. Look at that. At the graduation, y'all.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. And Miss Gina,
Y'all
I,
gotta y'all gotta
I,
unmute her. Unmute her mic.
I,
Mute her mic.
I exclude you and women like you from what I'm about to say.
Unmute her
Them,
mic.
them two, unmute her mic, P. Those two females are dressed like they was out at the club, then went to the after party, and somebody mama called somebody and said, you know, your baby graduating today. And they wiped their face, took a bird bath, and went to that graduation.
That
Now,
wasn't that
number
awful. I saw that.
that's horrible.
That was awful.
Nah, I think it's deeper than that, man.
It's like it's
Yo, yo,
graduation.
yo. When you, I don't know what schools y'all be dropping y'all kids off to, but if you dropping your kids off at school in the morning, man, you see people in house coats. You see them in flip flops. You see them in pajamas that they done had on, bonnets on their head. Nothing against the sister that wear bonnets, but I'm saying, you know, as far as the school thing, right? Like they already have a perception of where this child's where the background came from, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they already have a perception of what kind of home this child has grew up in or is growing up in. So then when you show up to the school like that, you just basically like confirm what they already thought. And now they have a certain way to treat your child. Like, okay, if they fell in, well, he came or she came from a messed up background. You know what I mean? Look how their mom's dressed. Look how their father comes up smelling like, a pound or something when he's dropping them off or pick. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things are reality. So but to go back to why she did that, that's attention seeking. Seeking
That's
attention.
ridiculous.
She might have thought somebody was gonna holler at her in the parking lot with that outfit on at a graduation. You never know, but I land my plane, man. I'm just saying.
I look at it like number one is disrespectful to the woman as an adult for self. Number two, you don't know what you finna put your kid through coming up to the school like you just jumped off the pole. I mean, let's really talk about it. You say, and I hate when parents say, "Do as I say, not as I do." Okay, well, 25% of the time you want to be my friend, you want to laugh and joke with me. Another 40%, you 45%, you want to say, "Do you leave me alone? Move around. I'm doing something." The other percentage, except for about 5%, you doing your thing outside the house. Then 5% you want to come back, tell them sit down, act right, do what they supposed to do, and act this way. How? They see
Hey,
you
hey,
running
Big
around.
LA.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but you said jumping off a pole from the size of that woman. I don't think she got off no pole no time soon or anything.
Okay, Miss Gina. Again, respectfully, I gotta respond to him. Hey, sir, you ain't never been to one of them
You know
clubs
what?
where
Say
this
what you
girl
need
come
to
out and do
say.
their
Don't worry
thing.
about me.
Okay, cool. You ain't seen them big girls at the strip club doing their thing, shaking something strange for a little piece of change on them poles, have you? You
No,
might
I
want to
haven't.
go. Okay. You might want to go to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They like them a thick baby out that way, aside from other things. But they like them a thick baby out that way. And it's a couple other states that's like that too.
Hold on. What's the topic of the show? Toxic attachment.
That's a toxic attachment. You need to break
Definitely a
Big
toxic
LA.
attachment.
What's toxic attachment? What's a toxic attachment?
He said the thick ones is a toxic attachment.
Yeah. I mean, who not
Hold
saying
on, wait, hold on. When has it ever been wrong in the history of anything to have a woman with a little meat on her bone? I'm not no little dude. I don't want nothing as big as my forearm.
I'm
Talking
not
about I love you. That
look,
ain't gonna
Yeah,
work.
look,
but
bro.
you, hey, what the hell, Big LA? You don't want one that she got to wear an oxygen tank too when you been making love to her. What the hell you gonna do with
Yo,
that?
yo, hey, my top my phrase has always been you gotta be two something to do something. You dig?
You gotta
Damn
be
it.
too something to do something, really.
I need, I like
I
that.
like a big girl. Take it how you want to. You understand me?
What you say,
You
Big
understand
LA? If she ain't 380, she ain't a lady.
me? See, you just trying to be funny, right?
You know, I'm a thicker woman too, right?
Ain't nothing
And I
wrong with it.
get
Ain't
it.
nothing wrong with it.
She did not need. I don't care if it's graduation. She was grocery store when I with a girl. Everybody has a body type. And you know what your body type is. And everybody cannot wear everything just because it comes in your size. It's not appropriate for everybody to wear everything. And I don't care who you are. I'm a little older. I'm thicker. I have grown kids. I'm married. There's certain things that I want to wear that I know I cannot wear. There's certain things that I see people wearing, and I'm like, she don't have no friends because her friends should have told her it wasn't nothing cute about that. You know,
I'm
it's
saying
just
I'm saying even more so for
I
the
have
event,
family members.
right? For the event though, right?
Yeah,
Like
that
you can
was wrong.
wear what you want to wear.
That was
I don't
wrong.
trip off for that. It's the event that you wear it to.
Good. That looked like an elementary graduation or like culmination or something like that. Like even if it was a high school or college, like why would you show up to your baby, the grandbaby event dressed like that?
Embarrassing, bro. That's embarrassing. Shit. That's honestly, that's embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing. Like I say, like Miss Gina say, for me, it don't matter what you wear. If you want to wear what you want to wear, right? That's cool. But it's the event that you wear too is the whole issue right here. I think. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you going to some kind of club at 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah, okay, that's might be the environment that you go do that in. You know what I mean? But at a graduation, nah. A funeral, a wedding, nah.
All right. I'm telling you, you better off doing your own. It's just the freedom is there, man. I have to let that go, man. You
Hey,
know?
I'm telling you, Rose, that stuff happens so much though. And the crazy part about it is, like the funny thing I got out of that video was the walk. She tried to power walk off, like let me get out the way. Like men was all looking. They was looking in disgust, not looking at you like they wanted you.
With your fucking cheek meat out. You at the baby celebration of the inauguration of them progressing in education, and your fucking cheek meat is out. Like I said, like she either got off a pole or a human pole and brought her ass to graduation.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
Now
Yeah, that was
again,
the poor baby.
again,
I know
before anybody try to say something about body shaming, I don't got nothing wrong with a big beautiful woman, a thick woman. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, look, I'm gonna keep it 100. I like to grab on me something. You know what I'm talking about? If I snatch up one of these skinny ones, I might break something. It just hit different. You know what I'm saying? But going up to your daughter graduation, granddaughter graduation, looking like one of these streetwalkers out here is crazy.
Nah. She didn't look like a streetwalker. At least they got some kind of morals nowadays. They wasn't looking like that, you
What
know.
you what you mean, P?
Ain't nobody gonna pay for no shit like that.
Yeah, all right. Mm-hmm.
Big
And
LA,
you know
I
what
know
I
what you talk about.
thought?
Never in your life, never in your life or mine, sir. What I'm saying is, you got these people that run through life really thinking, I'll never in my life find somebody this and this and that. So they'd rather go and either pull from the bottom of the barrel so they have something, or they pay for the bottom of the barrel so they could just feel love at any sort of way and or cost. Just like a old Ti song. One of them parts said, the girl said, as long as I'm getting my loving or getting or feeling love, I don't care how it comes. And she was giving something to everybody in the neighborhood,
Hey,
but she was still
that
get,
go
but
that
she
go
was
back
still
to the
getting that love,
that go
and she
back
was
to the topic of the show: toxic attachments. Come
and
Toxic
on.
she
attachment.
was accepting
Hey,
that.
hey,
Hey,
Big Egg. Hey, go ahead, Miss Gina. What you had something to say?
Yeah, you know how I feel about that outfit. Okay, we
Go ahead.
assume she was at a graduation or no, she was at a graduation or whatever. You know, I don't know what child she came to represent, if it was a little boy or if it was a little girl. But this is how I feel about it. I have a son and a daughter. Son is the youngest, daughter's the oldest, 11 years apart. If she was representing there to represent or support a little boy, the little boy was embarrassed all day long because my mama got her whole ass out at this graduation. If it was a little girl that she was there to represent, you know what she was saying to that little girl? Like, it's okay to wear this. And
Man,
she would be making a mini me of herself because a girl child would say, well, my mama wore that. Then I want to be like my mama. Every kid wants to be like their mother or their father if they got a decent parent, okay? Um, so she's teaching them without teaching them. She's teaching the little girl it's okay to show your body. It's okay to wear whatever you feel comfortable in, whatever you feel like in at any given time. For a man, for a boy, which was going to grow into a man, she's teaching him this is how women are. We're going to do what we want to do, and if you don't like it, it's on you. Because I'm pretty sure if it was a boy, the boy didn't like it. If it was a girl, she might be like, oh, my mama had on a cute outfit. Even though somebody else may have said something to her, she's teaching a girl, like, it's okay to do this. It's okay to represent yourself like that. And that's the problem now. More parents are not teaching their kids how they need to represent not just the family, but themselves. That was absolutely atrocious. It's no way in hell she should have wore that to anybody's graduation.
say that,
You got
sister.
to
Say
think
that.
about it.
Say
You,
that,
you should
sister.
ask yourself, like, can I wear this to my job? I don't give a damn if you work at Target. Can you wear a red shirt and tan booty shorts to Target? No, you
Say that.
cannot.
Say that,
Can you wear
sister.
that working at the grocery store? No, you cannot. Can you wear that
Nope,
working
nope.
at the post office? The post office, they let them wear shorts, but they shorts is to their knees. So people need to, like, it's just like, it's like people of her size, and again, I'm a bigger person, okay? It's like a lot of people of her size, and I have a person in my family that is a bigger size and younger and shouldn't be wearing a lot of stuff, right? And we do say something to that person like, hey, that's not for you, da da da. And we're telling you this because we love you and we don't want people to talk about you. We want to tell you first, this is not for you. If there is nobody who absolutely told her, you know what, why don't you wait till we go to brunch, or why don't you wait till we go to the club to wear that? What else you got? What else? Let me see what else you can pull out and wear to the graduation. Somebody should have been telling her that. But a lot of times with the younger generation, people gassing them up. Oh, girl, that's cute. I done seen girls 300 pounds. They got some stuff on social media. Not that I know them, but got some stuff on social media. I'm like, ain't nobody told you what nothing about that? Not one person? Because the one person that would have told you is your real friend. The other people, they ain't your real friend. And so
And
that
people
just
don't
was like,
realize that.
oops, it's just awful. It's just awful. It's like, when do you look at yourself and you say, you know what? Let me change because this ain't right for today. for this particular occasion.
They don't realize that. The people don't realize that, and I mean, it happens in the men's circle too, but I see this a lot in the women's circle. It's always the more attractive one who wants to be around her uglier friends. They ain't gonna tell them when something wrong because they want the attention. That's a toxic attachment. Being around friends who not there for your well being.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just
Hey,
when
what you
you
think
boil
about
it
that,
down,
Rose?
when
Situation.
when you boil it down, it seems like it's just all for attention, really. You know what I mean? Whether it's that woman that's in that abusive relationship with a man for 5 years, whatever. You know what I mean? After he, does whatever he does and he's abusive, then he, wines and dines her and she now feels okay. You know what I mean? Toxic attachment. You know what I mean? Um, it's just a whole lot of factors all the way around the board, man. These rappers, you know what I mean? These young kids growing up watching these rappers and emulating what they do, thinking that's the standard that you should live by. Nobody talking about going to college. They talking about how many people they can drill. A toxic attachment. You know what I mean? It could go deeper, man. Like P say, relatives. You know what I mean? People in your family. You know what I mean? That's your family. You know what I mean? You got to be around them. You want to be around them. You know what I'm saying? So you end up just being okay with some shit that ain't healed from 1980s. That started way before you
You're
may
right.
have been born, 1970s. You know what I'm saying? Like toxic attachment. You know what I mean? It's all up to you though to break that syndrome, that Stockholm syndrome. You got to break the Stockholm syndrome. If you don't, man, you're gonna be, you know, in the revolving wheel of life, and you'll never get away from those toxic attachments. I land my plane, ladies and gentlemen.
What you think about that, Big LA?
What do I think about what, P? Put it
Just
in
in
the
general.
question. Put it in a question for me.
Wait, let me see. Let me read what Mr. Charles said. What the hell you talking about, Mr. Chuck? Say some women are born toxic. I'm the youngest of 5 girls. I'm in my late 50s. All my sisters messed over great men.
That's not necessarily a toxic trait. It turns into, well, it can be a toxic trait. That's more or less of just them seeing what they've seen in front of them. And you'll have a lot of women nowadays admit that women be on bull, women be on crazy shit. Not everyone, there's a lot of them though. A lot of them.
Men and women both be on that bullshit. And Mr. Charles, he's a frequent visitor here.
Okay, okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's from
Hold on,
Texas.
loved one. Hold on, loved one. When I say that, I say men are always made to be held accountable for something. All throughout history, men have always been made to be held accountable. For whatever reason, nowadays women are deciding that they want to be accountable or they want to expose that women don't know how to be accountable or run away from being accountable. We've always had to be put at a higher standard, bro. Always. We're supposed to accept the woman as she is. She could be coming out of a hole, out of a wall that's attached to a cardboard box. But we're supposed to understand it, be there for it, and be all right with it. That's some toxic bullshit. Because when it's the other way around, we're bums, we're lazy, we don't know how to maintain ourselves or be organized or be what we need to be for the person, for the woman. But the woman can come as she is, and that's just perfectly okay. Where's the accountability? Men have always been held to a higher standard. We've always been forced to be held accountable. I land my plane.
You gotta remove yourself from those toxic type of situations. You know what I mean? If that's something that you consistently finding, you know what I mean? Shit. If somebody consistently finding that type of motherfucker, then that's a toxic attachment in itself. You should, you settling for that. You know what I mean?
My oldest sister
Yeah,
had a
you're right.
great man, cheated on him with a married man who she felt was her soulmate. Crazy bitch. I mean, I
That's wild. I don't mean to laugh at you, Mr. Chuck, but I'm just saying the situation because you see that happening on both sides, men and women's sides. People with great people and figure I have something good, but I think I want better. I think that's foolishness and greed right there.
Hmm.
yes, I agree. And she probably left old boy thinking the married man was gonna leave his woman because that's what he said to her. That's
And
crazy.
he wasn't.
Yeah, man. Those toxic
At
attachments.
all, at all. He wasn't going nowhere. Hey, look, ladies, I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now.
She was
Ain't no married
faithful to her
man
married,
finna mess up
faithful
they
to
ain't no
her
married
man
man
or
finna
here
mess up their kitchen pads and leave a wife cause you giving them some cuckoo.
at
Hmm.
all.
You don't understand. The man is outside of his relationship talking to you because you feel whatever void that's not in his household. But you do not feel the void of if his wife was not there. Let's talk about it.
Hmm.
Because a lot of you women chase after these married men like, I got something. I'm a kept woman. Your mama wasn't a kept woman, so how you a kept woman? And your mama didn't show you how to be a kept woman, so how are you a kept woman? You dealing with married men that's already got something kept at home.
Hmm.
You think they gonna leave that wife that make original macaroni and cheese for that craft box shit the side chick making? They gonna want that.
Hell no. Hell no, because she know how to make macaroni and cheese in the kitchen, and she probably make macaroni and cheese in the bedroom. And
Hey,
again, ladies,
hey, big
when
LA.
the men, when these married men have y'all, it is not necessarily for the sexual gain. The sexual gain just come along with whatever other void you filled that they wife not feeling at that time.
Hmm.
Man, hey, some of this is ridiculous. I seen a 80-year-old man at Food for Less on in Western Imperial with jet black hair with a 30-year-old girl. I said, brother, you need to take
Hey,
your ass.
hey, you leave that man alone. You let that old man, you let that man be great. You let that man be great, sir. You let him get his groove back. Yeah, you let that man be great.
Unmute me. Unmute me. Unmute me.
You
Take my
are you
mic
been
off.
you been unmuted.
Hey, I don't know what's going on with that Food for Less, but I was at that Food for Less some months back, and the line was really long. So I started talking to this man. Actually, we came into the store together, and we couldn't find a basket. And I was like, I just need a couple things. I don't really need a basket. But anyway, the line was long. I said, get your stuff and you come up here to me. Me and him got to talking. He was a veteran, and he was telling me something about his wife died or whatever, whatever. We was just talking about his kids and all kind of stuff. And he was like, I'm gonna give me a girlfriend. And I started laughing. He said, why you laugh? He was an older man. I said, I said, you got any money? I said, because that's really the only way you
Huh.
I said, honest with you, I said, sir, that's really the only way you're gonna get a girlfriend because you're up in age. He had already told me his age, like 70 something, almost 80, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, you think so? I said, you know I ain't lying. I said, if you get anything that ain't nowhere around your age, you got to have some money. You have to be able to take care of these little young girls and pay them. I said, you don't have no business with them, no way. But I'm just telling you from a woman's point. I said, and I'm in my 50s. You're not getting anybody if you're not able to pay. So you probably should just be by yourself, hang out with your friends at the VA on the golf course or whatever it is that you like to do for fun.
Not
Because
the
at your age,
VA.
it's about
Oh,
money.
look, the VA is diabolical.
It's a
That-
it's
No, you
true.
know, like the
It's
VA.
about money.
Not the VA hospital. I meant like where they hang out, the VA
oh,
exchange or something like
you talking
that.
about the elk lodge, like elk lodge
Yes,
type situation.
yes, 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 yes. I told him you might as well just do that. Hang out with your friends at the VA, but that's what I meant, or the golf course or something, or have coffee at the McDonald's Old People Coffee Club because it's gonna cost you some money. I said, and you ain't gonna have no money. I said, and you already shopping in Food for Less, so you probably shouldn't do that. I told him that's not a wise idea.
It's not.
And I'm
It's not. It's not at all. And that goes both ways. I seen, at that Rouse right there on Manchester and Western. It was this lady. She had to be late 60s. Dude she was with, he had to be 22, 23. She giving him a kiss, like, and I'm saying to myself, like, I said, wow, that's crazy. I mean, she was trying to walk in some like red bottom high heels too, and I'm like, this young dude got her thinking she young, and I said, man, this dude probably, every pump he breaking a hip, and I said, this shit don't make no sense. It's wild. Some of these people are messing with people that are the age or younger than their grandkids.
Mm-hmm. How you know he wasn't her grandson?
I know, no, not from that kid. I know that. Huh? What made me think they was together? Well, I ain't never grabbed my granny on the ass in the store, so I knew that was a thing right there.
Never. What is the diabolical?
You see that some of these older ladies, they figure, okay, I got a little weight on me. Let me get these tighter clothes, and some of these young dudes, they could fool a 20-some-year-old because he gonna be like, oh man, she thick as hell. Like, yeah, brother, yeah, you must be fooled. You don't know she got more diving suits on under there than anything, holding all that stuff up. That's it.
Diving suits. Oh my God, is that what you call it?
But no, but it's just
she come up out that suit and it fall all over the place. Then what?
It fall every which direction.
Man.
You hear me?
Man, them tires be rolling all the way to Opelousas, Louisiana, shit.
Well, but booty cheeks is dough stoppers. Let me shut up. I can't.
Hey,
I'm not gonna let you take me there, Pete. Not today. Nope.
Hey, let me ask you.
Hell no.
Let me ask you this real quick, LA. I know our buddy the Deacon. He normally he would always say, people should have a 10-year limit. You know what I'm saying? Like they shouldn't, if they're single, they shouldn't be dating nobody 10 years older or younger. What do you think about that?
I agree with her.
It depends. For me, it depends. I don't think really. I don't think a man should below like 6-7 years date a woman no more than 6-7 years under him, and kind of the same for a woman, because you got to think about it. As you supposedly grow gracefully in love as the years go on, somebody is more likely to be gone. So if you're a younger man dating an older woman, do you really want to put yourself in a position where you're gonna have to like take care of her health wise? No, a man is not likely to do that. I'm not saying all, but a man is not likely to be a caregiver like that. A younger woman is more likely to be a caregiver to an older man. But again,
paycheck involved, there's money involved.
That right there. But what is the satisfaction in that? What is the purpose and the point? I'm getting ready to turn 59 in July. I wouldn't date anybody past 50 is really pushing it. But if I wasn't married and I had to date somebody, he'd have to be at least 55. At least 55. I ain't got time to play around with no kids. I'm not dating nobody that's around my daughter's age. That's 29. I'm not doing that. It'll probably be somebody I should pass on to her. If a man is my age, which my husband is, if him and I were not together, he should not be dating anybody past 50. And that's kind of like a 9-year, 10-year. I think it's, you have to think about the future. Where is this going and what is it going to be like as the years go on? But a lot of times men are not thinking that. And, they just looking at like, Me personally, I just always think they're looking at it from a sexual point of view.
I
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
wanted to add to
yeah.
that. I just wanted to add to it. I think if a younger woman is looking to date an older man, she at some point has to have like daddy issues. She wants that man to treat her, not necessarily, but like buy her everything. You know what I mean? Take care of her, basically, right? Um, and if a younger man dates an older woman, I tend to think that might be, maybe he got mama issues. She gonna, care for him as his mama would, because an older woman is probably gonna be stable, cook, right? Um, you know what I mean? If they live in the house, she might even fold his clothes up. You know what I mean? Like the whole little get out,
Man,
right?
let's be real, bro. A lot of them ain't doing that shit nowadays because some of these 60, 65-year-old women, they I bet money they gonna be out there at the BET Awards at Crypto Arena shaking their
On
ass with
my
some
mama, they
girls.
gonna be at crypto.
We'll talk in a couple weeks. Just like some of them old dudes, they say, yeah, I'm finna go out there and pull up one of these chicks. Yeah, she gonna think I got money. I'm 70 and I ain't got shit. She gonna find that out after I hit.
She can get
I
a,
mean,
she can
it's
get
how
a
it
little bit
goes
of
down.
this social. She can get a
Look,
piece of this social security though.
I think if you at 70, you got to shell out your money first. You don't taste no cookie without
Ooh,
first. I'm pretty sure of that.
Well, hey, they forget about these shysters. You know what I'm saying? Some of these old dudes back in the day were shysters, and they figure, hell, these young girls nowadays, not all of them, they know they can manipulate. That's a toxic attachment they have to stop. Instead of enlightening the youth on stuff stuff they could do to make their lives a little more easy and how they could prevail and have a good life, marry somebody around their age, have a kid, start a family. Nah, they want to use them for like, come on, man. Like you going through all this to give her 3 minutes of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it really worth it?
No, I mean not really, but you know what I mean. It's all according to how I
am
guess.
I wrong? Am I wrong for thinking and considering that sex is nothing more than an action? It really ain't no love in it, and us as humans have just put uh, a definition on it.
It's
More of
no
a bodily
if
function.
cheating.
Say it
Oh,
again.
go ahead. No, go ahead, Gina.
I, I say if you're cheating, and I have to get off soon because my battery's gonna die on my iPad. I say there's no love in it if you're cheating with the person. It's like we said earlier, it's feeling some type of void, some type of outlet that you're not getting from whoever you with. But I don't think there's any love in it. And the person might say that there is to that other person just to keep the peace, to keep it calm. But I don't think that there is. I don't think that there
Well,
can be any love.
you're right. Hey, speaking of that toxic stuff, people got to let go of toxic things in their life. A lot of people hit me up. They want to hear this from last week, and this fits perfect with this. Check this out real quick before your phone died, Gina.
Saved message. Hey, bitch, let me tell you something. Don is my motherfucking man, and you better not call him no motherfucking more. You understand? Don't call him. Don't text him. Don't say a motherfucking word to him, you fat bitch. Because let me tell you something, and this is on the real. This ain't no Barbie and Shirley type shit, bitch. I don't play that shit. That's my man. We've been together, and I'm not gonna fucking let him go. So you can stop calling him. You can stop texting because he don't want your fat ass bitch. Let me tell you something. Don't do it no more because, bitch, I don't play. I will gut you like a motherfucking fish. Play with me if you don't. Let me tell you something. I will hunt your fat ass down. Do you understand me? And this is not, and I'm going to repeat this, this is not a fucking threat. It's a promise, bitch. I'm like I said, I don't play. So if you think you want to play, you better find you a motherfucking toy. So I'm giving you a warning. Don't call his motherfucking phone no more. He's mine, and I ain't going to let him go. This ain't that Barbara Shirley type of shit, bitch. I'm coming to you like the bitch that's going to hunt your fucking ass down. You got that? Fat bitch. To replay this message.
Wow.
Jesus Christ,
Wow.
bro. Nigga, she ain't in
People
the
got to stay
penitentiary.
away from toxic people like that.
Hold on, she ain't in the penitentiary already.
We don't know
Because
who
I
it
mean,
was, you know.
technically that was just a recording. You know what I'm saying? That was just a
Nah,
message
nah,
that
ain't
got
not
left.
fuck
That was
that. That ain't no record, bro.
but that was a
That's
that was a that was an
that's a
actual call
confession.
that was left to the deacon. They said they left that message on the church voicemail for him, and he said that was wild. He gave me permission to use this. So I said that was, so that's why I tell toxic shit. You dealing with people who ain't wrapped too tight.
Well,
But
guys, I
hey,
have to go.
go ahead, Miss Gina. We
I mean,
appreciate you
I
for
have to
coming
go,
on.
but thank you for
doing-
letting me come on here today. I'm out here in Eastville with the family, and I was like, oh, let me step away, jump on, see what they're talking about. I appreciate you allowing me to voice my opinion. Good to meet you guys, the ones of you, Roosevelt and Big LA, that I had not met before.
yes, ma'am.
Pete, always good to
Yes,
see you. Thank you for
yes,
letting me
ma'am.
come on your platform. I appreciate you, Mr. Charles, in the comments. Thank you for your comments. And you guys have a most amazing week, and I will try to join another week. Thank you so much.
All right,
No
peace out.
problem, no problem.
All right,
I'm
you
gonna
as
show
well.
Mr. Charles your cake commercial again. He asked for it, so I'm gonna show him it again.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. Such a surprise.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
No doubt. Y'all enjoy. But yeah, man, hey Rose, man, we've been on here for like a little bit over an hour, man. We ain't gonna be on too much longer. But like you say, man, the toxic attachments people have to detach from. You know what I'm saying? Just break them. A lot of toxic attachments don't have to just be relationship wise. I say that again. It could be a job. You attach to a job that's not beneficial to you health wise, mentally, or physically, but it's just giving you a nice amount of money. Just because it's financially stable, that's one out of the five things you need. That's not enough. You know what I'm saying? That could be a toxic attachment you need to detach from. Um, get a job that's going to benefit you all around, not just financially. But before we get up out of here, we're gonna do it like we normally do. Rose, go ahead, man. You want to say something, man? A lot of people may ain't heard from you in a minute. Go ahead, man. Let people know something.
Yeah, man. Hey, P, I appreciate you for having me on tonight, man. Love as usual. Uh, yeah, man. Like P say, man. Toxic attachments, man. I just learned something from listening to my brother. I just thought about something, but yeah, man. You know what I mean? Y'all got to release yourself from them toxic attachments. Family. Job. Whatever it may be. You know what I mean? It's important to do that. Shout out to everybody that watched tonight. If you may watch this later, man, go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah, man, I'll see y'all in 30 days, man.
That's what's up. Big LA, man. Go ahead, do your thing.
In the meantime and in between time, move away from the toxicity, whether it be friendship, situationship, relationship. Toxic is toxic. It's all in the family of trauma bonding. Toxicity is in a trauma bonding family. Get yourself together. No matter who, what, where, why. Get it together. At the end of the day, you only got you and a handful, and I don't even mean a whole five, a handful of people that's gonna be there. Make sure them five is the right ones. If you have a five, some people don't even have that many. But like I said, make sure, you know, Make sure there ain't no toxic bullshit around. For real, for real. That shit'll stress you out, depress you, or kill you. Meantime, but in between time, I fuck with you. You'll see me here on Peace Show. You'll see me on the late hour and on Barbershop Talk. My channel, it's under a real reconstruction. We'll see y'all. Meantime, and in between time, I fuck with you.
That's what's up, man. Again, like I say, thank everybody for joining. A toxic attachment that I personally like to break, that I think I've broken. I reach out to a lot of people on social media, see if they want to voice their opinion. Yeah, we have friends that who may be in a celebrity world that could say some stuff, but nobody want to hear that. I mean, because people like us make the world go round. The average working 9 to 5 people. So I want to hear what people like you got to say. I say that to say this. So when we reach out to you, don't be shy, man. Like let the people know what you got to say. But I say this also, toxic attachments, they have to be broken by the person. Stop relying on somebody else to break it for you. Stop saying that somebody can do this, that, and that for you, or to you, or make you feel this way, or can do that. It's possible, but you got to be strong mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like you as a person, strengthen yourself up mentally, physically. All that stuff is entwined with each other. Health, wealth, all that. Do it the right way. Let everything come full circle to you. Your voice is power. Your voice is frequency. You know what I mean? If you know about frequency, you learn how to use frequency. But like I say, break the toxic attachments. Love more. Don't hate at all. Some people say hate less. What you mean hate less? Don't hate at all. Just be real with yourself. Be real with others. You know what I'm saying? If you know somebody that need help, don't wait for them to ask you for help. Some people are used to help others that they don't know how to accept it. So you have to be a person to break that toxic attachment of not being the person to give. It's better to give than to receive. You know what I'm saying? And know who to give to. If you know somebody smoking a pipe, don't give them no money because you know what he's finna go get. But if you see somebody saying, "Can I get a bite of that burger?" then that's who you want to give it to. But real talk don't end. It just take a break. We'll be back next week, Monday, 7 p.m. Y'all enjoy the outro video. Thank you, fellas, for joining. The late hour show is probably on right now. If not, it will probably be on some tomorrow. Y'all check my boy Yogi out. Shout out to Arizona.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man. I'll catch y'all next week, man.
When I first moved from Oregon to South Central Los Angeles,